Paul Clutterbuck is a proud grandfather from Emsworth in Hampshire. Back in 2005, when his grandson Josh was born, he was done so with a cleft lip and palate. On the back of this, Paul decided to dedicate himself to fundraising for children born with similar conditions in countries where it's perhaps not as easy to deal with as it is here in the UK. And he's on the phone. Good afternoon, Paul.
Good afternoon, Pat. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Very nice to talk to you. I'm just doing the maths in my mind. If Josh was born 2005, he's 16 years old now?
He is exactly 16, yes, last month.
And how's he doing?
He's doing very well. He's had a series, of course, a whole program of repairs and change. And he's doing very well, thank you.
And that's good to hear, because I'm sure it was a worry when he was born. Was it known before he was born that he would have a cleft palate, Paul?
Yes, it comes through in scans for mothers. It's sort of a regular scan, and they find it after a few months of pregnancy. And so it's always known, and I think probably your listeners will have known a school friend or a neighbour perhaps, or seen pictures of the condition. But what I learnt through Josh and was inspired by it was that, of course, babies born like this have difficulty feeding after birth, and mothers have to learn different skills than other mothers to make sure they get fed properly. The NHS has been absolutely fantastic. The surgeon that looked after Josh, Professor Pete Harris, was just exceptional, and all the team he had too. So he's known Josh's life, so he's seen him through this period of change from a baby to 16.
It's a stressful thing, isn't it? With all the wonderful but still stressful things about having a new baby. That must be added pressure for any mother, any parent really who has to do it.
It really was. Yeah, and Gemma, my daughter, did really well with that. It's a strain on everybody, but it's not life-threatening, but it is life-changing when you have the operation as a baby.
Well, it's inspired you to, well, pretty much for all of Josh's life, to dedicate yourself to fundraising for it. Specifically, Paul, for countries where there isn't an NHS and it's perhaps not as easy to get the operation to sort it out.
That's exactly right. And what I learned from Operation Smile, the charity that I dedicated myself to helping, is that for only £150, you can change a child's life.
That's how much it costs to do.
That's all it costs, is £150, and there will be a child somewhere in the world that has a life-changing surgery through people like Professor Hares that looked after Josh. He dedicates his time, his own expense, to fly out to countries with a team, and they educate locally, the local medical people, and actually operate on children from time to time. And they do this throughout the world. And for £150, that's all it needs to help.
Well, I've just worked out, I've used the calculator on my computer, that you've raised in 15 years. I just about added Josh's age to 2005 and I struggled with that. So I've used the calculator to work out the £37,000 that you've raised in that 15 years. That's helped just shy of 250 kids worldwide, Paul. So that's absolutely fantastic. Yes.
Well, that's inspiring in itself, to me anyway.
And where did you start? What did you do to get the money in the first instance? Because you obviously decided when Josh was quite small.
Yes, well, when I learned of Operation Smile, I knew that, for that little money, I could do something. So I decided I would raise some money. So I joined a bike ride, the Paris to Hailing bike ride, a local bike ride that's been going on now for, 35 years. And I just joined that thinking, well, maybe if I can raise enough money just for one child to have some surgery somewhere, that would be enough. And then, of course, I raised a lot more than that. And then, of course, I got hooked and decided that each year I would do that bike ride, Paris to Hailing. And other years, when my health wasn't so good, I decided to climb Kilimanjaro.
Hang on a minute. So you stopped cycling because your health wasn't so good and thought, I'll go for the world's tallest mountain instead.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly right.
Brilliant.
But yes, well, Kilimanjaro was a whole different experience. So I'm so pleased I did that. So I kept going, and now I'm a little older than I was. I'm writing books, and I have a new book out.
And what's it called?
It's called Making a Friend Smile. It's not related to Operation Smile in as much as it doesn't talk about Operation Smile, but it actually, the royalties all go to Operation Smile. 20 stories I wrote for a friend. He had terminal cancer, brain cancer, and I wanted to do something for him in the remaining time he had. So the only thing I could do, because he couldn't drink wine and he couldn't play golf, the things he loved to do. So I said I was going to write him a story once a week of something that happened to me in my life somewhere in the world, to try and make him smile. And in fact, his wife was so generous to say that actually made him laugh. So that was wonderful. But he said before, the last time I spoke to him actually, before he passed, was he wanted me to get them published. And he was a big supporter of my efforts to raise money for Operation Smile. So I decided to get the stories published, which I have now done.
Well, I'm just looking online. You can find it if you go on any of the big retailers, Amazon, Waterstones, any of those. If you search for Making a Friend Smile, you'll find it by Paul Clutterbuck. Paul, congratulations on your achievement. I'm guessing this isn't the end. I'm guessing you're going to keep fundraising one way or another.
I am, because I know that just for £150, Operation Smile can help a child somewhere.
Well, look, you can search for Operation Smile online as well to find out about the charity. Paul, you're a top fella. It's been great to talk to you. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for taking interest.
Paul Clutterbuck of Emsworth, ladies and gentlemen.